Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it. George Santayana. In a graduate course that I taught at Bethune-Cookman University on the religious and social thought of Howard Washington Thurman, I talked about individuals and events that impacted his life. As a result of the class experience, I dug into my trove of audio recordings that augment, support, and add color to the Thurman story. Here are 3 of those audio recordings. Booker T. Washington's Cast Down Your Buckets Where You Are, Mary McLeod Bethune, What Democracy Means to Me, and the Tuskegee Airman's group Debt to Mary McLeod Bethune.
This is the BMA, Black Media Archive Podcast.
Mr. President and gentlemen of the Board of Directors and citizens, 1/3 of the population of the South is of the Negro race. No enterprise seeking the material, civil, or moral welfare of this section can disregard this element of our population and reach the highest success. I will convey to you, Mr. President and directors, the sentiment of the masses of my race when I say that in no way have the value and manhood of the American Negro been more fittingly and generously recognized than by the managers of this magnificent expedition at every stage of its progress. It is a recognition that will do more to cement the friendship of the two races than any occurrence since the dawn of our freedom. Not only this, but the opportunity here afforded will awaken among us a new era of industrial progress. Ignorant and inexperienced, it is not strange that in the first years of our new life, we began at the top instead of the bottom. That a seat in Congress or the state legislature was more sought than real estate or industrial skill. That the political convention or stump speaking had more attraction than starting a dairy farm or a truck garden. A ship lost at sea for many days suddenly sighted a friendly vessel. From the mast of the unfortunate vessel was seen a signal: "Water, water, we die of thirst." The answer from the friendly vessel at once came back: "Cast down your bucket where you are." A second time, the signal, "Water, send us water," ran up from the distressed vessel and was answered: "Cast down your bucket where you are." A third and fourth signal for water was answered: "Cast down your bucket where you are." The captain of the distressed vessel at last, heeding the injunction, cast down his bucket, and it came up full of fresh, sparkling water from the mouth of the Amazon River. Those of my race who depend on bettering their condition in a foreign land, or who underestimate the importance of cultivating friend relations with the southern white man, who is their next-door neighbor, I would say, cast down your bucket where you are. Cast it down in making friends in every manly way of the people of all races by whom you are surrounded. To those of the white race who look to the incoming of those of foreign birth, strange tongue and habits for the prosperity of the South, were I permitted, I would repeat what I have said to my own race: cast down your bucket where you are. Cast it down among the 8 millions of Negroes whose habits you know, whose fidelity and love you have tested in days when you have proved treacherous, meant the ruin of your fireside. Cast down your bucket among these people who have, without strikes and labor wars, tilled your fields, cleared your forests, filled in your railroads with cities, brought forth treasures from the bowels of the earth, and helped to make possible this magnificent representation of the progress of the South.
This is the BMA, Black Media Archive Podcast.
Democracy is for me and for 12 million black Americans a goal toward which our nation is marching. It is a dream and an ideal in whose ultimate realization we have a deep and abiding faith. For me, it is based on Christianity, in which we confidently entrust our destiny as a people. Under God's guidance in this great democracy, we are rising out of the darkness of slavery into the light of freedom. Here my race has been afforded opportunity to advance from a people 80% illiterate to a people 80% literate, from abject poverty to the ownership and operation of 1 million farms and 750,000 homes, from total disfranchisement to participation in government, from the status of chattels to recognized contributors to the American. As we have been extended a measure of democracy, we have brought to the nation rich gifts. We have helped to build America with our labor, strengthened it with our faith, and enriched it with our song. We have given you Paul Laurence Dunbar, Booker T. Washington, Marian Anderson, and George Washington Carver. But even these are only the first fruits of a rich harvest, which will be reaped when new and wider fields are opened to us. The democratic doors of equal opportunity have not been opened wide to Negroes. In the Deep South, Negro youth is offered only 1/15 of the educational opportunity of the average American child. The great masses of Negro workers are depressed and unprotected in the lowest levels of agriculture and domestic service, while the black workers in industry are barred from certain unions and generally assigned to the more laborious and poorly paid work. Their housing and living conditions are sordid and unhealthy. They live too often in terror of the lynch mob, are deprived too often of the constitutional right of suffrage, and are humiliated too often by the denial of civil liberties. We do not believe that justice and common decency will allow these conditions to continue. Our faith envisions a fundamental change as mutual respect and understanding between our races come in the path of spiritual awakening. Certainly, there have been times when we may have delayed this mutual understanding by being slow to assume a fuller share of our national responsibility because of the denial of full equality. And yet, we have always been loyal when the ideals of American democracy have been attacked. We have given our blood in its defense, from Crispus Attucks on Boston Commons to the battlefields of France. We have fought for the democratic principles of equality under the law, equality of opportunity, equality at the ballot box, for the guarantees of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have fought to preserve one nation conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Yes, we have fought for America with all her imperfections, not so much for what she is, but for what we know she can be. Perhaps the greatest battle is before us, the fight for a new America, fearless, free, united, morally rearmed, in which 12 million Negroes, shoulder to shoulder with their fellow Americans, will strive that this nation under God will have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, for the people, and by the people shall not perish from the earth. This dream, this ideal, this aspiration, this is what American democracy means to me.
It went down that Chappie was involved somewhere, I'm not sure. And, Chappie was a general.
Right.
I think it was a one-star. So what they did, they appealed to a mother dear to intervene with the president, and she went through Airman Roosevelt to get to the president to get that change. So what happened, mother dear and Airman Roosevelt went to Tuskegee, and Mr. Roosevelt went up in the plane with the black powder, which disturbed the Secret Service people very much. And they stayed up in the air for about an hour riding around Tuskegee area. And when they landed, Ms. Roosevelt, when she went back to Washington, as she usually did when Mother Dear wanted something, influenced the president to make it possible for black power to be trained, cut it short for black powers to be trained at Tuskegee. And there were two other areas where they were trained. Also, I don't, offhand, I can't remember the name. Two other institutions, black institutions, where black powers were trained. But Mother Dear and Mrs. Roosevelt were responsible for the, what's the name of the black group, the powers that were trained, what do they call themselves now?
The Tuskegee Airmen?
Tuskegee Airmen made it possible for them to be able to form that force. And during their tenure with the Air Force during World War II, they did not lose one. See, they used to protect the bombers going to bomb those different areas, and during their protection of those black powers, they did not lose one bomber during the entire tenure that they worked during World War II.
Oh.
They protected the bombers and didn't lose one of them.
Whoa. But it was your mother who went with...
Who brought, it was my mother and Ms. Roosevelt who brought the black powers into a being to get them formed and allow them to participate as powers